Hey guys, I'm really excited to share this with you today. Everything's coming together. I believe this is it. We are almost there. And so if you'll bear with me, I had a couple more dreams. That's like a total in almost 60 years of my life of five that have dates in them. And I know that many people in the body of Christ, some will have dreams about two moons, 3 days of darkness, or they'll have these beautiful rapture dreams. And I haven't had any of those. I just have dreams with dates, and I try to put them together on this timeline. And I believe this is it right here. June the 30th looked really good. Um, Unfortunately, that has passed. Uh, I've been adding the 444 um, to different dates, and I've been going about it wrong. I don't think that's what I was supposed to be doing, and I'll explain why in a second. But I had added 444 to last year's Passover, and that came out to June the 30th. And also from September 23rd, it was exactly 40 weeks, I believe 280 days of what a pregnancy would be. So it just worked out too perfect. But here we are now in July, and I know this may be a little premature for people that are still watching for in July, but this is for time period of around September 30th to October the 8th. And I believe that this is it. I'll explain more, but the reason that I believe that the 444 and 445 is I was watching a video by uh, Aaron from Got a Minute, and he had a notebook with 444 and 445 BC on it, and that was leading to a couple of different Passovers. And so I'm thinking, when Christ was crucified. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, is balance these out, because in that dream, uh, I felt like I had to put the 444 and 445 in the scales. And there was a old empty water bottle, plastic water bottle in one of them. And I was thinking, well, I don't want to put it in there because it's trash. But I don't know if that means that it's supposed to be just a slightly off balance or what. But anyway, what I did was, so I just took 365 days a year, what it would be from Passover to Passover. But it's not exactly that, because they go by the full moons rather than the lunar calendar. So, and then next year, their Passover is they're adding a leap month to it, and I don't even know if that's biblical. So, what I did, instead of figuring up the days between Passovers, I just divided 365 by 2 and come up with 182.5, and I'd added that to the Passover. So I'd split these, and I think that's what I was supposed to do. I split those, and it takes us to September the 30th of this year. And I thought, well, I wonder, from my other dream, September 23rd, um, I'm wondering how many days that would be. And I put it in the date calculator, and lo and behold, it's exactly 2,550 days to September 23rd, 2033. So I believe that the September 23rd wasn't the rapture, it was the second coming. And So that is a combination of 1260 days for the first half of the trib and 1290 for the second half, for a total of 2550. And so these are my dreams. I have had two more dreams. This is probably a couple of weeks ago, I guess. Uh, and but before that, this is all I had. And maybe God was thinking, we got to help Jim out. He's getting it wrong, you know. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong again. I don't know. But I think this is it. I really do. Or I wouldn't even be on here wasting your time. But this first dream was 20 years ago. It was just a tombstone with October 23rd on it. I'm not even sure where that goes. I just put it on the end right here. It didn't have a date on the tombstone or the year, just the date. So I thought, well, maybe I'm going to die that year or something. I didn't know. Every October 23rd came around, I thought, man, I better be careful today. But it had, but October 23rd, 2033 and September 23rd, 2033 are both new moons. This is actually the Feast of Trumpets in 2033, and these are both new moons, kind of like twin months or something. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the two moon dreams or something people's having. I don't know. But and then the other dream was last August, and I dreamed September 23rd. We was just sitting on the couch talking about the rapture. You know, I didn't see a rapture or anything. We was just talking about it. And then I'd also had this one, which was Seder Premier, which is Passover. And I was thinking, well, it doesn't make sense that I'd have this dream and then also have this one, which wasn't until the next year, which is now this year. And I didn't know what to make of it back then. And so after September 23rd passed of last year, I'm thinking, well, is it October 23rd then? You know, nothing was making sense. But now with these last two dreams I've had, um, oh, by the way, I'll mention some more about this dream. Is my friend Daniel, and I was riding in the pickup with him, and we'd run teams together in a semi for 7 years together. And it's amazing how God works. Is that his name was Daniel, and it was Daniel in that had mentioned the prophecy of whenever the decree would be to rebuild and restore Jerusalem. And so, you know, it's amazing. Plus, we'd ran together for 7 years. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that means, you know, like the 7-year tribulation or something like that. Maybe that's what it's pointing towards. So there's a whole lot in that dream. And so anyway, these are the two from this month. The first one was, I was in an airport terminal, and I was an inspector, you know, and like a structural engineer. And my job was to inspect the frames, like for broken welds inside the aircraft and stuff like that. And then I saw a plane coming by the taxi area, and the nose of it was entering the window or going by the window, and it had just looked awful. You know, I'm like, nobody's going to get on that plane. It just looks awful, you know. And then I could make out the paint job was just so bad I could barely make it out. And I saw FedEx on the side of it, of the nose of it there. And as it kept on by, the rest of the plane wasn't there. It was just the nose of the plane. And I realized, oh, that plane, something must have happened to it. They were just taxiing the plane, the nose of the plane, I guess, into a hangar or something. and maybe that was the plane that I was supposed to inspect. But anyway, after that, I'd uh, went in there, and the boss lady said, "No, we're not inspecting today. We're doing that tomorrow." So I guess it'd be the day after Christmas. But there's another lady sitting in there at the terminal. We were the only two in there, and I guess she was laid over for her flight or something. So I had a whole tray of coconut shrimp. That's how crazy dreams can be. But I had a whole tray of coconut shrimp, and I'd sat down next to her, and I shared my shrimp with her. And then that was the end of the dream. I'm thinking, well, what would coconut shrimp have to do with the FedEx plane, and trying to put all that stuff together? Anyway, I Googled it. What would coconut shrimp mean in a dream? And then mentioned something about coconut can mean fertility. I was like, oh, well, maybe Christmas Day was like meant conception. And so I don't know, but also today is mine and my wife's 32nd wedding anniversary. We're starting our 33rd year together today, and we'll actually be going out to eat Chinese here later, and we'll actually be having coconut shrimp. So maybe it's not about all the numbers. Anyway, maybe it's just about the coconut shrimp. We may be going home today for all we know, right? I like watching Devin's videos. He works at an airport, and he uses his real life events and stuff like that to kind of make a timeline, and he's real good with math and numbers and stuff like that. And so I was thinking, well, I guess everybody's life has some kind of a testimony to it, like my oldest sister, she turned 77 in 2 days. So maybe it could be on the 18th, or my own birthday is 7/26, which is harpazo, or rapture, in the Strong's Concordance. So who knows, But I know there's a lot of people still looking for this July, and I hope it is. I'll be rooting right along with everybody, but I believe there's just too much here, and it's all coming together. But let me continue on. Oh, with the canal exit dream, I was in an underground canal, and it's like, I guess it was filling up with water, kind of like a sewer system, I guess, or underground canal system, or whatnot. And I was going up some kind of a slanted concrete shaft, working my way up towards the top. But there was bars, and I couldn't go any further. And there was a door that would slide up in the bars, but I couldn't get the door all the way up. It's about the size of a medium-sized, maybe doggy door or something, that you just slide up, and it wouldn't go all the way up. It still needed to go up 2 or 3 inches. And then I was told, or somehow knew, that it wouldn't go on up until 10:08. And sure enough, after it turned to 10:08, it went on up, and I was able to crawl on out. And after a couple of weeks of trying to think about that, I was thinking, well, maybe that wasn't a time. Maybe that's supposed to be the date. So that's where I come up with October the 8th. And I'm thinking, well, was that like a birth? A birth canal maybe? The water breaking or something like that. And I'm trying to get out, and it's like I could only get my head out, like until 10:08, and then until I fit the rest of my body. And so I started thinking that now, if Christmas, the FedEx Christmas dream was, let's say, conception, then I figured out it would be 40 weeks to September 30th. So that also meets right up together. And then you have the tribulation being September 23rd, and it's just all lining up together. There's some other things that I had figured. Well, I wonder what October 8th is on. I went to Ken Johnson's site, and he has the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar on there. And I went to the month of Tishri, which is like Tishri 1 be the Feast of Trumpets. And then I went down to October the 8th. And this would be the day, I guess, after the great day, the last great day. And I thought that was interesting. And so I'm thinking, could this be, if this is the birth, could this be like the circumcision right here, 8 days later? And I was hearing John chapter 7 says, Jesus said, in the last day, the great day of the feast, this was the Feast of Tabernacles, Jesus stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. And I think that is the day right there that everything is pointing to. And also, I've looked to see where in the Bible has it mentioned the 23rd day of the 7th month, which the 7th month is Tishri, but in the civil calendar, it's the first month. In the biblical calendar, it's the 7th month. The 23rd of the 7th month is also October the 8th. And it had mentioned it one time, and that one time is when Solomon had dedicated the temple. I thought that was interesting. It says 2 Chronicles 7, verse 8. Also at the same time, Solomon kept the feast 7 days, and all Israel with him, a very great congregation, from entering into Hamath unto the river of Egypt. So there we see those 7 days. Well, actually it'd be 8 days. Well, no, the 7 days of tabernacles right here. From September the 30th, that's the date that whenever I split it, the difference between the years, September 30th, and then 7 days, and then the great day would be the 8th day, and then October the 8th would be the day after that, unless I'm just a day off or something. But I find that very, it says, and in the 8th day they made a solemn assembly, for they kept the dedication of the altar 7 days, and the feast 7 days. And on the 23rd day of the 7th month, so that's the 23rd day of Tishri, he sent the people away into their tents, glad and merry in heart for the goodness that the Lord had showed unto David and to Solomon and to Israel his people. So is that the day that we're sent away into our new tents, maybe, glad and merry? And it's amazing. And also, I'd titled this September 20th Rapture. I just hit the wrong key, but I'd meant to put September 30th. But I'm not sure if it's September 30th or would it be October the 8th is what I'm kind of thinking. So anyway, I'd like to look around at some more videos and see what more I could learn about October the 8th, and see if anybody else has had any dreams about that. Plus, I'd like to get stellarium. Some people know how to use that. I'm not real technical on stuff like that, but if somebody had stellarium and is real good at using it, then that'd be awesome if they'd check that out. But there's I was thinking for those that's still looking for something in July, really the only thing that I can figure is like 444 days from the last Passover was June the 30th. So if, let's say that it was from the second Passover, maybe it would be July 29th and 30th. And let's say if it was from, let's say if we did 444 days from September 23rd of last year, then that would be December 11th and 12th. That would be the last days of Hanukkah right there. And but I don't think I'm supposed to have them anymore. I think what Aaron had on there was what clued me in to just that I'm supposed to balance these two and just split the year, and that's what it brings to from Passover right there, and everything just kind of fits like a glove. And I found this one guy's video where about it was actually 5 years ago, no, back in 2020, almost 6 years, and he had this dream on October the 8th.
But the voice of God is counted to 3. It said 1, 2, 3. On the third count, I knew in my spirit that Jesus was returning, and then suddenly I was engulfed in a bright light, and then I woke up.
And that's how fast it'll happen. And go back to it here. But anyway, that's about all that I have for now. I'd figured, well, what would be the middle of the tribulation? I'd come up with March the 13th, and that would be if it's from September 30th. And but if it was from like October the 8th, it'd be around March 21st, something like that. I think I saw on Repo Man's thing. I think what was it? Lazarus was raised around March 20th. Well, this is also around Purim. I think this is 5 days before Purim, so it's right around that area. But I don't know if that would have anything to do with it or not. But anyway, I'd be interested to know if anybody else has had any kind of dreams or something around this timeline. I figure God has different ways of showing us different things, but I found out it's not always easy to do the interpretations of these things. But I'm still not 100%. But everything just looks so good. I just don't see how it can't be. I think we are on it right there, September 30th to October 8th. Anyway, I love y'all, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.